another episode of Mental Health Mondays. Um, Before we start, per usual, I have to ask because I have to check in with my peoples. How are you doing? I hope well. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. My weekend was pretty much, it was a bust a little bit, but you know, things happen the way they're supposed to happen. Things happen for a reason, so it just is what it is. Let's get into it. I just want to chat about being in between seasons. Now, I don't mean that literally. I mean that as, not I'm not talking about spring, winter, fall. I'm not talking about that. I'm pretty much talking about like when you're transitioning from one thing to the next or whatever, and you feel like you're out of control. You feel like life is just like kind of beating you down or whatever. You just have to take a moment and just realize that this is the time where you are in between seasons. You are transitioning to something greater. So this week was a very trying week for me. As you know, unemployment was cut off or whatever. If you're a non-essential worker and you were relying on unemployment, that was cut off. So that was hard for me because unemployment has been helping me for the past year or so. And then finding out this month at the last minute from my job that they were not bringing me back in the fall, it upset me. It upset me because how I found out, it was like unprofessional, and I was upset about it. I'm still upset about it because it's like, me thinking, because I've been keeping in contact with them all year, me thinking that I would have, like, still my spot in the fall, and then to find out that I don't, it bothers me, and then I'm left feeling like, well, dang, I could have been looking for a job all this time. I could have been, I could have done something else. Hence why I said I wanted to start my business or whatever. But in order to fund a business, you have to have the funds for a business. So I pretty much started freaking out. Like, my anxiety got the best of me this week, and I found myself frantically applying for whatever jobs fit my resume, whatever fit my skills and everything. And it was bad. Like, I was like, literally, for since Sunday, literally since Sunday, I was applying. And I was on my phone for like 3 days straight, just straight looking at jobs, applying to jobs or whatever. And it was bad. It was very, like, it was bad. Like, even when the night that my kids came home, because I didn't send my kids to school the first 2 days. I sent them on Wednesday, like I said. And Tuesday night, I was just like I was a zombie. Like, I was just walking around here, you know. I had to redo my daughter's hair. I had to feed them. I had to take out the trash. I had to put them to bed. And literally, I was a zombie the whole time. Like, I had no emotion. I was stoic in my face, everything. It wasn't until I put my kids to bed that I went in the bathroom and I just broke down. And see, my kids, they never wonder why. Like, they always wonder why I be in the bathroom for so long sometimes. Sometimes being in the bathroom, that's the only place that I could really sit and gather my thoughts and have personal time to myself. I don't even be having to do anything in the bathroom half the time. Like, if I just use the bathroom, sometimes I just sit there and I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling or I'm reading or something. That's the only peace that I have without being somebody's mom or somebody's daughter for the moment. I'm just me. It's just me with my thoughts or whatever. So I just broke down. And I broke down, but I felt kind of like a release. So the next day, my mom, she was leaving to go out of town, and I spoke to her because she was like, my mother is the type of person, like, she wants to fix everything and she wants to help, which I appreciate that, but sometimes I don't be needing help. Sometimes I just be needing time to process it. So I let my mom know, like, hey, I'm the type of person, I have to feel my feelings and I have to go through them in order to get over them. And not a lot of people understand that, which is fine, because a lot of people feel like, how can I help you? What can I do to make it better? And it's like, sometimes you don't need a person to make it better. You just need for them to give you a little bit of space, so that when you feel ready to talk about it, then you'll talk about it. So I explained that to my mom. My mom was like, I'll do my best. So Wednesday, I, it was a regular day, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stress so much about jobs. I'm gonna apply where I can, and I'm gonna see what I can do. And it just is what it is. Like, this is a temporary situation. It's not gonna be like this forever. So it is what it is. So that same day, well, first off, shout out to my spiritual healing boo Janaea, because she I spoke to her when I was breaking down. I spoke to her before then, and she's like, I'm very sorry that this happened to you with your job. And she pretty much sent good vibes and positivity, and like a nice, she left me with a nice voice note, and she was like, I just hope for you that you whatever anxiety that you have, I hope that's taken away from you. I hope like your anxiety is replaced with, triumph, and you start to feel better. And she just pretty much was sending me healing vibes and, like, well wishes. And then at the end she was like, I love you, and then left it at that. And I told her, I said, I appreciate you and I love you from the bottom of my heart, because that helped me. And then also my best friend of 20 plus years, like, we've literally known each other since we were 12. She had wrote a status on Facebook, and I don't remember the whole status, but the main part of the status that caught me was that she said, change your way of thinking. You are not broke. You are in between seasons. And that really resonated with me, because, I remember I had a friend tell me that a couple of years ago. And shout out to Prince, that's who told me. He said, stop saying that you're broke. Stop doing that. Stop wishing that on yourself. You have a roof over your head. You have clothes on your back. You have food on your table. You're not broke. You're in between seasons. And then me seeing my best friend, her write that on her Facebook, it clicked. And I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. I'm in between seasons. So the situation that I'm in right now, it's a very uncomfortable it's a very uncomfortable situation. But I know the type of person that I am, I know that this is a situation that is going to be very temporary, And I was frantically worrying last week. This week, I'm not as worried, because my friends and my family covered me. And by them covering me and sending me healing vibes and sending me well wishes and sending me all the positivity, by them doing that, that gave me the strength to give myself some grace. And in me giving myself some grace, I just sat with my thoughts and I felt my feelings. And I told myself, it's going to be okay. God only gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And I have to keep that in mind. So, I say all of that to say, like, give yourself some grace when stuff like this happens. And by me just giving myself some grace and taking it easy and not freaking out about jobs so much, I actually ended up getting calls for not one, but 2 job opportunities. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for this new chapter. I'm excited for whatever is coming next in my life, because I know whatever comes next is going to be great, considering what I have planned in my mind about what I want to do moving forward. So, um, I just want people, if nothing else that you take from, this Mental Health Monday, just take the message of you're not broke, you're in between seasons, and the best way to grow is to go through what you have to grow through, you know? So I just would, my advice is to just, always manifest what you want, put it out in the universe, and it'll come to you threefold. Whether you pray it, whether you manifest it, whether you write it down, whatever you do, because what's for you is going to be for you. So manifest it, speak and think positivity upon yourself so that it could come into fruition for you. But this week was very trying. It was very like this. My anxiety got the best of me, and I was tested this week. I really was, and like I said, I broke down, and me breaking down didn't make me weak. It didn't make me anything, but it didn't do anything for me, but allowed me to soldier on, because I'm the type of person, I have to like cry, I have to scream, I have to get through my emotions in order to release it. That's what it is. Like, that's what it is. And that's I think that's like the balance or imbalance of me being a Capricorn, because, with being a Capricorn, it's like we're sea goats. So, it's the earth side of us, and then it's like the water side. Like the earth side of us is very guarded. We're very stern. We're very, like that. But then when you break that wall down and you get to know the sea part of us, that's when you get to meet the part of us that's the more sensitive. That's the part that, after we've, built up our wall and somebody knocked it down, it's, out comes the flow of emotions, out comes like our interior, and you get to know us from the inside. So yeah, that's if you believe in signs. I'm a person, I believe that your signs play a heavy part in your characteristics. So yeah, and I mean, that's how I am as a Capricorn. Like, we're sea goats, and I could be very, vague and guarded and everything when you first meet me. But once I get to know you and I consider you family, friends, whatever, then you get to see that other side of me. So yeah, like I said, I just said all of this to say, if you feel like you're broke, if you feel like you are broken, you're not. You're in between seasons. And I need for you to keep that in mind, because in me keeping that in mind, it made me feel better, and it allowed me to, it allowed my mind to relax enough so that I could, be ready for when these opportunities presented themselves. So that's all I really have to say this Mental Health Mondays. I hope you take something from this, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Teesha on the Tube. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Later.